Yo, what is up, guys? It's just Cause here. I am also here with K Harvick fan and Abyss here. Auto Club, RHRL Auto Club. Should be good. Give me a second, real quick. Um, we're gonna have some fun here tonight, Auto Club. We've gone through two races already this weekend, the truck and Xfinity race, and we've had a bunch of fun commentating. As I'm going to throw it to Dark Abyss for the Circle B starting lineup.
Yes, indeed, and we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up, starting in the 20th position, we have Ha Ha Boog, and starting in the 19th position, we have Stout Whiskey. In the 18th position, we have Honorary Hades. In the 17th position, we have C for Life, and in the 16th position, we have Horatio. I believe this will be his first start in the Cup Series. They can correct me on that if I'm wrong. We have Captain starting in the 15th position, Mr. Sly Job starting in the 14th position, and starting in the 13th position, we have Super NASCAR Fan. Starting in the 12th position, we have Josh. In the 11th, we have Mr. Brodozer. And here comes people that top 10. Starting in the 10th position, we have Mr. Drew. And starting in the 9th position, we have Turbocharger. In the 8th position, we have our love commentator, but he will be racing tonight. In the 8th position, Gavin. So in the 7th position, we have OK Sideways. In the 6th position, we have Bit Skydiver. In the 5th position, we have Class. In the 4th position, we have Rye Bread. In the 3rd, we have Toasted Gamer Z. And in the 2nd position, we have none other than Mr. Asylums. And the man that will be taking the poll tonight for Circle B diecast will be Word Burton. This is a great lineup today, guys. What is your favorite so far? Who's your favorite, guys?
Well, I'm going to say my favorite to win here, it's Auto Club. It's going to be a very big draft track, so we're heading to the pace lap right now. Not to green yet, but to the pace lap. I think my favorite's gotta be the 19. I'm gonna say Rye Bread. I'm gonna go with a little bit of an underdog. I feel like I have some confidence in him that I think he can go very fast around here at Auto Club. But if I had to pick a top dog, I think it's going to be the 6 of Asylums.
Well, indeed, if I'm not wrong, Rye Bread had a fantastic run last week, sorry, not 2 weeks ago at Martinsville. But I'm going to go a little out of the bag, and I'm going to guess Mr. Horatio. He finished second, I believe, in the trucks, and I believe he finished third in Xfinity. I think he can bring it home in the first position today. As K Harvick fan is still doing a little bit stuff on the high side, so he's kind of chilling. Alex, how have you been this weekend? Did anything surprise you in the last trucks or Xfinity Series race?
Well, so we're going to head to green here. We're heading to the restart zone. Here we go. Green flag from Auto Club. Hey, heading across the start-finish line right now. 24 right behind the 8. Down the front straightaway. Heading into turn number 1. 00 T-Glass is going to clear. Outside lane did not get going right there. 8 car heading into turns 1 and 2. 24 Toasted Gamer side by side with the 00 T-Glass. Going down the back straight away they go. 8 of Word Burton. He's up front. He's trying to get all of them through lap number 1. Through 3, 4. Whoa, we got a crash. Big crash.
Wreck in the back. Huge wreck in the back.
Big one.
The 20th flipping of Ha Ha Boog.
Wow.
Is out.
Caution is out.
Early trouble, and that started, by the way, Boog started in the very back, literally dead last on the field. So to see him get caught up in that is pretty shocking early, guys. But when you break this down, we ended up going green with 28 laps in the stage. This is going to take 3 right off. Probably going to end up with about 25 to go in the stage. There's a bit of a pit window here when you look at the fuel. You get about 14 to 15 on the fuel. It is going to be a one-stop stage. I don't see anybody saving 10 laps of fuel. That seems a little bit unreasonable to me. They will have to pit. Pit window opens with about 15 laps left to go in the stage. So there's a little bit of wiggle room here now. But one thing we know for sure, the draft is going to be very high here on these restarts. And this place is really wide, and that might be what caused that wreck. Abyss?
Yes, indeed. As we go back to green here, it is going to be an interesting restart. As looks like the double zero of the Toasted Gamers E will be leading us turn one as Word Burton on the outside line trying to take the lead back, but no, looks like the double zero will take the lead going out of turn number two onto the backstretch. Asylum's looking to take second as he does on the backstretch, a little wobbly the entire field. Down the backstretch going into turn number three. What will Asylum's just kind of fall in line and take ice on? Probably get a good run off right now as he comes turn four, as we will complete, I guess, the first actual green flag lap of the race. Alex.
Yeah, as they're going down the front straightaway right here, it's going to be a factor all day. Oh, as we got a car hard in the wall. That's going to be the 38 of Gavin. He's hard in the wall. He's going to have to fall to the rear of the field. But it looks like the one challenge all day, it looks like it's going to be the challenge, is that outside line. The both restarts here today, the outside line just did not get going. So it looks like that's going to be the biggest factor of the race, is that outside line here, Kevin.
Indeed, and when you look at these details, you look at this place, you look at the draft, and again, we're on, by the way, as it's been throughout the entire weekend, we're on high draft tonight. So these guys get a very large draft pool, and that's something that at this racetrack you don't. Sometimes you underestimate the run you're going to get, and you end up driving it pretty deep into the corners and that type of thing. Well, what that'll end up causing you to do in the pack when you're like this is, especially with the banking here, you know, this place from an aerial standpoint looks so much like Michigan, you know, a little bit north of here, obviously. But there's actually some subtle differences between these two tracks. Yes, they're both 2 miles in length, but the banking in the corners here is actually equivalent to what it would be at Richmond. 14 degrees of banking. So it's very flat. When you go into the corners really fast, you try to hold it through the center, you end up losing the nose, and with the draft, that only becomes more relevant. Well, you add in the fact that here, unlike Michigan, yes, Michigan's very wide, but
I'm sorry, car just got taken out. 24 toasted. Sorry to interrupt there, but the 24 just absolutely got clobbered and it spun and crashed into the inside wall. There he is. He's just getting going now. That's going to be a tough one there, Harvick.
Tough break for Toasted. Somebody who at Martinsville also had a bit of a rough race. Ended up coming back and finishing pretty solid, all things considered. But he's coming off a bit of a rough race from Martinsville. Obviously, he rebounded, but he ended up getting turned around, went multiple laps down at 1.2 or 3 down, and ended up driving back from that. But it was, trouble, big trouble.
Huge wreck. Cars are spinning out.
Another car. 19 was involved. 00, 88, 20. That's going to bring out the second caution of the race here.
Now, guys, I have questions for you now. Do you would this change any part of the fuel strategy going into this first stage right now? Because right now you can pit and probably make it a good couple more laps further than you guys expected.
Well, I would say we probably ran 3 laps or so under green there, maybe 4. When we go back to green, cautions eat up about 3 laps. When we go back to green, we'll probably have, I would say, 18 to go, maybe 17. If you pit here, it is possible for you to save that type of fuel. So we'll have to see what these guys end up doing. But yeah, it definitely does change the fuel game quite a bit. Alex?
As we're heading out the green flag.
Oh.
Heading into turn number 1. 8 car on the inside, 6 car on the outside. Heading into turn number 1, the 8's got the advantage on the inside. Getting a push from the 18 to sideways. 6 car. Crash! Big crash! Crash in the back, the 12, 32, 38, 13. Caution is out for the 3rd time today. So it looks like somebody got on the apron and just spun it.
Sorry, Casey.
Abyss.
I was inviting Abyss.
Abyss. Oh, we're having technical difficulties with Abyss. But Harvick, right there, was that a little bit too aggressive right there? Cars getting on the apron? Because I know it's a restart. They don't really have up to speed yet. They don't really have control of their cars. But was that just a little bit of aggression coming into play?
It definitely could be. One thing about this racetrack, and it's so flat, that apron is it looks very welcoming. It looks like you can go down there, the car will stick, whatever. And you do see a lot of guys go down there and use it and make it work. It also, however, can be very deceiving in the fact that it's not very welcoming. Um, you get down there a little bit too much, you ride it a little bit too long, you'll end up looping it around. Sometimes it's out of aggression, sometimes you just genuinely think you can run down there and it doesn't work out for you. Alex, we are back to green.
So we're back green here to 34 on the inside. You also got the 48 on the outside. A couple cars stayed out under that caution. Here we go into turn number 1 and 2. 34 on the bottom. 19 looking inside. Oh, the door is open. 19. Oh, the one car. Oh, he got loose right there. I don't know if any contact. He is falling way to the back. Down the back straightaway. Through 3 and 4. 00 T-glass. All over the rear bumper of the 34 Josh. Through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. And 34 out front and strong. Here at Auto Club Abyss.
All right, now I'm looking through deep in the pack. They're going 4, 3, and 2 wide. I don't know what they're doing, but they're racing very aggressive in the stage 1 restart right now. As they come through turns 1 and 2 right now, it seems Josh is still pulling, but the 19 of Rybread is looking for the lead. But here comes a fantastic push from, it looks like, T-Glass, and here comes Mr. Slide Job pushing T-Glass into the turn 3 right now as Josh continues to lead coming into turn 4. It seems like a madhouse when it comes to cars right now. Just like I don't know what the right word would be, a congestion of cars, maybe.
Uh-oh. Caution.
What?
Oh, yeah. Caution.
The car?
Looked like
12 is Sean for
somebody.
life around.
Sean for life, by the way, I
12 is
believe
Sean for
making
life
his
around,
cup
man.
debut. So tough break for him.
Never want that to happen.
Pretty early though, he can get this. If he can get this repaired and get himself back going in this place. We saw the 6 of Asylums do this on Friday night. I missed it yesterday, unfortunately. I heard it was a pretty good race. But I know Friday night Asylums had this happen to him and ended up going back through the field, not once but twice. So it's very doable here. So you get caught up early, don't lose your temper or anything, just get back in it, and I expect Sean to do that. He's usually pretty good about that. So we'll see how this goes, but everybody should be good to go on fuel here from now, guys. This?
It looks like Josh stays out again to keep leading this race. As here we go back green. T-Glass and Josh will make up the front row as Rybread and Slide Job will make up row 2. Here they go into turn 1 now. Looks like T-Glass has a slight advantage. Maybe that fresher tires because Josh did not pit under that last race. But Josh will take the advantage going into turn 1. Here he comes. Coming to turn 2. Josh keeps on leaning, but here comes right in the 19. Here comes Asylums in the number 6 car as well. They're all coming to the front now, bumping and pushing and banging and scooting. Here comes Rybread. Will he take the lead into turn 3? It looks like he will. Coming out of turn 4, he will take the lead proudly as it's 2, 3, and even 4 wide behind him. Air just cause.
As we go down this front straightaway here, 34 is in massive trouble on the low tires. As the 6 is looking to the inside of the 19. 19's going to close the door a little bit, but the door is left back open though. Down the back straightaway they go. 19 out in front. Rybread, we're going to go on board
Alex
with
got
Asylums
knocked over
here.
by Josh.
Down the back straightaway, he's got to run. He's going to go to the inside. Oh, big wreck. Crash. 13's involved, 38. That's going to bring out the 4th or 5th caution of the day.
I believe 4.
In stage number 1.
Tough break for the 38 of Gavin as well. Man, I tell you what, that's just, he got put up on the wall earlier, and now again in trouble. By the way, at 34, this is very interesting strategy. So I want to highlight this. Josh has been up here in the lead last couple of restarts. He's doing well, but it's a little bit interesting call if I do say so myself. Again, this place eats tires a little bit. Not as much, again, as I talked about on Friday. I think it should, but it does eat up the tires. And when we're probably 10, 15 laps into this race. He's probably only been down pit road once, and he hasn't pitted on at least the last 2 cautions. We'll see if he stays out again. That's how he's been on the front row, but I've heard a few complaints about it just because he's slow on the restarts, and that's going to happen. So we'll have to see how this goes. Alex?
Here we go as we go. Green flag back in the air. 12 is Sean for life. Stayed out under that last caution. Through 1 and 2. 0-0 side by side with the 12. But the 12's got the advantage. 19 giving him a push. 12's going to slip up. Could be split 3 wide going down the back straightaway. 12 car. Oh, he's getting split.
Contact.
3
Further
wide
back.
for the lead. As we got a pushing train right here. 19 to the inside of the 6. 12's trying to hold them all off. Down through 3 and 4. To the trial. It looks like the 12's going to be out front. And Abyss, it looks like he's going to try and hold off the field here for a stage win.
It does look like that indeed, but he still has to, I would say, be 3-lane Wayne. But right now, it looks like Rybread, your pick is currently taking the lead as here goes the 12 car right to the wall. They're going to be close to making a wreck, but nothing goes. That's good to see as here comes Siam's looking for the lead, looking for the stage win. As here they all go into turn number 3, going down straight to that bottom. Rybread will lead it off turn 4, and if I'm not wrong, this would be the final lap of the stage, Kevin.
Crash! And that's going to end the stage.
Oh, boy.
And 19 of Rybread's going to win stage number 1.
Wow.
That's going to be a good end to the stage for the 19 of Rybread, but for everybody else, they're kind of disappointed they didn't finish that last lap.
No, absolutely
not sure what happened there.
I heard through, not actually through our lap counter himself, Asylums, who's doing a great job tonight, but through the Discord server, we were able to pick up some guys not happy with that, and that's I believe our 5th or 6th incident so far, especially considering how the truck race went. We had some cautions, but it wasn't a ton. These guys, I hope they can clean it up a little bit, because this place could be put on some really good racing, but these incidents, I think, are very much preventable, and I hope we can see them stop, because guys are getting upset, and it's unnecessary. Guys are being over-aggressive, and it's unnecessary. So we go back to Green Abyss.
As here we go, Rybread and us will take up row 1, and I believe that will be the 18 of K Sideways on the second row with T-Glass. I could be wrong with that 18. But as they go into turn number 1 and 2, it looks like Rybread will lead them out. Will anyone have anything for Rybread? The winner of stage 1, if I'm not wrong, that was the end of the stage. As here they all come pretty much almost single file, but those 3 cars on the inside line try to make some moves happen. Here comes the 18, try to sniff the lead. Will not take it off this corner right here, I believe, as the 19 of Rybread will keep the lead as it's right now. He's some fresh piece of bread right now, Alex.
Wow. The 18 and the 6 are side by side. Oh, car on the apron. Oh, I don't know if he's going to save it or not. Luckily, he kept it off to where he didn't wreck anybody. I don't know. I think that could be someone. Yeah, it's someone. Oh, it's the 5 of Drew LMAO who saved it. Good save by him. But right now, 19 of Rybread currently looking pretty good out front right now. But the 6 and 18 side by side for P2, hoping to gain an advantage. Right now, I think the advantage is whoever has the draft as Asylums goes inside for the lead. Side by side, one car in the wall. As Harvick, they're battling hard as the 6 is going to clear here off turn 2, maybe.
We'll see. He's trying still. He will be able to clear now, and he has the lead 2 point for the first time, but not again without challenge. Here comes Rybread looking back to the bottom. By the way, those guys got a little bit close when they were passing in 1 and 2 over there. Very, very close incident. I believe the 19 and the 1 got together a little bit. That almost ended that disastrous. Thankfully, everybody's there to keep it going. And Abyss, we see, well, the one, actually, I'll say, it almost ended disastrous for both of them. Unfortunately for Turbo, he ended up with the short end of that stick. But either way, Abyss, these two continue to battle up front. Make that 3 wide. Here we go.
Is it's 3 wide? As I'm not sure who the 32 is. As I try to make sure about use. That's Stout Whiskey for the first time today. I believe this is his first start in the Cup Series. I could also be wrong there, as he tries a gun for the lead number. He's a very strong contender. I don't know why I didn't pick him, but he is surely on the ones to watch to win this race. As
I see contact further back.
The point under the lead as he takes away from Asylum, but here comes Rybrett at captain, trying to make the battle more interesting as they're still 2 and 3 wide behind the leader. These guys are
car on the wall.
He hits the wall hard. On the back, coming off of turn 2 as they keep leading, Alex.
Yeah, it's right now up front. Stout Whiskey in the 32. He's been close to winning races this season as we're in stage 2. He could have won Richmond and he also could have won Chicago, but he's gotten the short ends of those sticks and now hoping to come to Auto Club and win one here as the 6 of Asylum's looking to the outside here heading into turns 1 and 2. 00 T-Glass there in P3. He's looking pretty good right now in that 3rd position as these 3 look like they're kind of breaking away from the pack as the 6 is looking to the inside of the 32. He is there. He's going to try and see if he can clear him off exit of 3 and 4. Through 3 and 4. 32's got the edge though. Out of turn number 4. Who's going to, 00 going to help? He's going to help the 32 as Harvick. We've run a couple laps. When do you think pit window's going to open?
Well, it's a pretty straightforward pit window. I don't think we've had a caution yet in this stage. I don't believe so. Thankfully, these guys have been able to clean it up, and we've had some great racing as a result. Stage ended up being 28 laps long, about the same as stage 1 was supposed to be. Uh-oh, I might have just jinxed us. We'll see. Oh, car got in the wall up there. Almost jinxed us. But if you look at this again, about 14 to 15 laps on a fuel tank. Tires aren't a huge concern. They do wear a little bit. It will matter. I don't see anybody trying to 2 tires or anything like that. But that pit window is going to open about 14, 15 to go in the stage. You might have a couple of laps of leeway. I would say the latest you can pit would be about 13 to go. And even that would be kind of pushing the limits. So it's a pretty small pit window. But that's when you're going to see pit road get busy. And it will be a very interesting pit entry here. It's kind of one of the longer pit entries, a little bit faster pit entry as well. Be fun to watch these guys get down on there as fast and as aggressive as they possibly can without wrecking each other a bit.
Yes, indeed, as Stout Whiskey continues to lead, as Rybrett continues to try to find a way to pass him, as he's going to put on the outside line like a plate track, as he now will have a little bit of help with Asylum, maybe to get a little bit of draft, but everyone trying to sniff that lead for the first time today, as right now Stout Whiskey still holding up, coming out of turn number 2, as he will have Asylum's almost, it will be side by side, but here comes the 24 of Toasted, giving a big shot to Rybrett going into turn 3. What will Rybrett do with that momentum? Looks like he'll just kind of stay back in the 3rd position. Oh, as they're going to come out of turn 4, maybe 4 wide. Yes, they will, but they make it work for a minute, as now they go back down to 3 wide. As right now, Asylums takes the lead going on to turn number 1, Alex.
Yes, they're going into turn number 1. Right now, the 6 just recaptured the lead from the 32 there down the front straightaway. Going into now the back straightaway here. Oh, he almost hits the wall. Wow, talk about
as Rybrett got put in the wall.
Exit. He was getting close to that thing. He got very close, but now it's going to take advantage to the 53 of Mr. Slide Job. He's up here. It's the 24 just did the Cupid Shuffle in 3 and 4 right there. A little lag spike. You don't want to see that if anybody behind them, but 53 and 6 still side by side here as they're getting close up there here, Harvick.
Indeed, hearing a little bit of lag from one of the guys up front, that's not what you want to see if you're trying to race. Hopefully that gets sorted out. Maybe it's a one-time thing that happens every now and then, but either way, especially, trouble in the back.
Oh yeah, we got Spinner. 17 a bit, but he looks like the only car. But that's going to bring out a caution, I think. Yeah.
And this more than likely will put any pit stops under green to rest in the stage. So, guys,
Well, I think
breaking
Asylum's breaking
news.
the speed barrier.
Yeah,
My goodness.
breaking news. At least for NASCARs, we might have just set a new personal top speed for any NASCAR series that's ever been here. Apparently, when the lag happened, the 6 hit 230 miles an hour as a result. So mark that down in the record books, y'all. It's pretty fast. It's about what an
I'm
Indy car
surprised
would
he
be
made the
running
point.
around here.
Okay, well, we're going to go to green here after hearing that news. The 32 on the inside, the 6 on the outside. Here we go. Green flag back in the air here in stage number 2. 32 with a good restart. The 6 trying to squeeze in here. The second place behind in the 32, but the 53 is going to fill that gap here. 24 is going to look on the outside of the 6. Through 1 and 2. Inside line's going to have a big advantage here until the back straightaway. Through the back straightaway they go. 8 car leading the inside line. Right now 32 on the outside is the leader. Oh, 53 is going to look to the inside. Through 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead. 53 is going to slide up. 32 is going to slide up. 6 cars going to get the run. To the rear bumper to 32. Through the trial they go. And the 32 is going to lead that lap. 24 is looking inside of the 6 here. Abyss.
As yes, indeed, as here comes Toasted trying to take the lead from Stout Whiskey. Toasted trying to lead for the first time tonight, as it will not come to fruition. Coming up a turn 2, Stout Whiskey still out front. The only man I believe to actually steal the lead from. Here comes the one of I believe that's Drew. I could be wrong.
Turbo,
Sorry. Turbo tries to take the lead. I think he actually will take the lead, but here comes Asylums. They are 3-1 as Asylums will take the lead and will be scored as the race leader to lead that lap. They're getting crazy up here, Harvick.
Indeed, and let's mention a couple things. How about the 24 of Toasted and the 1 of Turbo? Both those guys found themselves in trouble earlier in this race, and now they're both up here fighting for the lead again. I talked about earlier, it's pretty, I won't say it's easy, but you can definitely fall to the back and work your way back up through the field if you do things correctly and you're smart about your moves. We've seen that happen with the 24. He's up here inside the top 5. We've seen that happen with the 1. He's up here battling for the lead right now. So you can do that. You just have to keep your patience under you, and these are 2 great examples of that, and we could definitely see that happen more throughout this race, Alex.
Yes, right now the 6 car out front. 2 lines. Like Harvick said, I think he said this during after the race yesterday or Friday. He said that this is about the closest thing to a plate track as you can get. As you can see, 2 lanes have developed. As the 32 is going to look to the inside here for the lead, battle for the lead here. 32 on the inside, but he's going to have to check up. 6 car on the outside. 6 is going to have the runoff corner exit. No, the 32's got the runoff corner exit. And the 32 back to the lead here.
Lap count at the line.
My God, this 32 does not want to leave the front of the pack, but here comes Mr. Slide. I was waiting to see when he was going to make his appearance to try to lead this race as he found his way up into the second position, challenging it for now side by side with the Asylums. And now it comes to push. Who has the better pusher, the 1 or the 19 as they go into turn 3? Will they try to split the 23? Yes, but they won't get there in time. The 32 kind of holds them all at bay. Right now, he is showing as the guy that's the fastest car out there, Kevin.
Indeed, and we all talked about pre-race favorites, or at least you guys did. I was trying to get some social media things finalized, and wasn't able to kind of chime in on that. But I want to put mine out here now, and I'm not cheating. I kind of thought about this before the race. I just didn't get to say it. I swear. I promise. Mm-hmm. My favorites, really for this were obviously Stout. Stout. You know, he hasn't raced a Cup in a little while, but the last time he was on the track was when we were at Richmond for the 3rd race of the season, if I didn't mix that up. So It's been a little while, but he's always been strong at these type of racetracks, especially Auto Club in particular. He always seems to really know how to manipulate the draft, and he always seems to know how to block things cleanly, and he's genuinely a clean driver as well, and that's something that actually will work out really well in your favor at these types of places. You look at places like Daytona and Talladega, Stout's also strong there. Again, like Alex said, and like I said earlier in the weekend, this place is the closest thing you're going to get to a plate race without it actually being a plate race. I'm not surprised he's up here. He was one of my picks. The other one is Asylums. Asylums has historically done really well at this racetrack.
Oh,
Oh boy!
No, the 24 got hit. Toasted's involved. Oh, there goes the 48, the 20. Haha, Boog's involved as well. Drew and the 5 is involved.
Whoa.
That changed.
Not
caution.
pretty.
Well, all I could say was this: the 2-car had to avoid the wreck, so he went to victory lane to avoid the wreck.
A little bit early, but understandable.
Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking this. I'm just saying this is the plate racing that NASCAR Heat 5 actually wants. But guys, they're having an interesting race right now. I believe, if I'm not wrong, Stout is still the leader though out of that wreck.
I believe you would be correct. I had to actually get back up here to your leaders again. So
It'll
yeah.
be Stout and Turbo going to the restart, Alex.
Yes, here we go. We're going to go green flag. Back in the air, stage number 2. Here we go. Heading into turn number 1. Easily the 1 car gets back in line here through 1 and 2. He got there. So that means he's going to be in second. Bottom lane, of course, advantage to the bottom. Down the back straightaway they go. Top 3, top 4 is going to clear here. Down the back straightaway. 1 car to the rear bumper to the 32. Can he make a move here in 3 and 4? 32 is going to block. Here comes the 6 of Asylums. He's got to run through 3 and 4 down the tri-oval. Here we go. This is where stage is winding down as Harvick. It looks like it's a battle up here.
Well, and it's not only a battle up here. We're at 3 to go, Alex. The intensity is starting to build up here. It's going to be a mad dash to the end of this stage. Hopefully they can actually make it all the way back around. I know we had an incident that ended stage 1 a little bit early. These guys have really cleaned it up this time around. Only had, I believe, 1, maybe 2 incidents throughout this entire stage. So it's nice to see. And we've seen, too, not only are they racing hard up front, but it's just throughout the field, 2, 3 wide, as far back as I can see, which, if you know me, isn't that well. But that's a story for another time. Either way, point being, there's 3 wide racing, 2 wide drafting, side drafting, even a little bit of beating and banging all the way throughout this field. The racing we're seeing right now is amazing, and Abyss, as we come to, I believe, 2 to go right here, it's only going to get better.
2 to go.
Yeah, indeed, it's pretty much outside line versus inside line. Again, like I said, this is the plate racing we all actually wanted in a NASCAR video game, but we just never can seem to get as we go into turn 3. Stout Whiskey still holding the pack at bay. Going into turn number 4, coming out turn number 4, sorry, as it seems like he'll be taking the white, that's Stout Whiskey, that's Rybard, my apologies, as he'll be going down into turn 1, the final lap in the stage. Rybard take the lead away from Stout, but here comes Asylums, here comes the 12 of C for life. Could he do something? Here they come off to the backstretch. Here comes the 32. They're 3 wide for the lead. They're beating and banging. Cars are out of shape, but here comes even Captain in the 2. This is gonna be it coming into turn 3. It will be Asylums or it will be Stout Whiskey coming to turn 4. It will be close. No, never mind. It will be Stout Whiskey. Captain tries to look out. There goes Gavin. There's another big wreck coming to the finish. I don't know how many backup cars this teams have brought, but they're going to be using all of them tonight.
As stage 1 winner or stage 2 winner here at Auto Club is going to be the 32 of Stout Whiskey. He's going to take stage 2 here at Auto Club. So we had a big wreck coming to the line. I think they were 4, almost 5 wide probably, trying to race back to the line to get the stage points and caused a wreck. So it's gonna be It's going to be interesting here for Stage 3. Stage 3, it's the final stage. All the chips are laid down. So, guys, who are you guys taking? What is your Circle B ones to watch?
Man, you know,
Kevin's
I
gonna
think I could
choose is gonna choose something. He's
definitely
gonna cheat.
take some low-hanging fruit. I think I'm gonna have to go with the 19 of Rye Bread. He's just shown so much speed. We're back to green, Abyss. What's yours?
Yes, indeed. Here we go, going into turn. I believe that's Gavin, our colleague that Aleki Pit. That's why he's kind of going into the little apron there, as it will be Stout Whiskey. And my pick to watch is probably gonna be a Silence in the 6th. He's been up front all day long. Hasn't gotten the stage wins, I believe, like he wants to, but he's currently in the 3rd position right now as he goes down into turn 3, pushing Captain in the number 2 car, trying to push Captain to the lead first time tonight, as it looks like Captain will have the run and will have the push coming up at turn number 4, as Captain will be leading the actually, wait a minute, never mind, it will be Captain Alex.
Yes, my one to watch has got to be the 32 Stout Whiskey. He's been fast, he's been bad fast every time he has raced in this league, and he is currently fast tonight. I think tonight is Stout's night. Is down the back straightaway. New leader for the first time in this race. That isn't a Rye Bread, the Stout of Whiskeys, or Asylums. It's the 2 of Captain. He's up here, and he's in the lead here at Auto Club. Harvick.
No, and I'm not surprised by this at all. I look, and obviously this is the first time we've been here in RHRL for the Cup Series, and I wasn't here for Xfinity last night. But this has always been one of Captain's best tracks. And you look at places like here, that he's really good here. Atlanta, really good here. Daytona, Talladega, he really seems to show up. These are places where they all kind of have similar characteristics in the way you drive and the way you race. And he always seems to show up here. You might not see him the first couple stages. He was pretty quiet until the very end of stage 2. But I tell you what, he has shown up, and now he leads. Probably going to lead 2 or 3 laps here at least, maybe more. We'll see. I definitely can tell you he wants to win badly. He's somebody. He kind of went away for a little while, came back, and has put in quite a bit of work. And he wants to get rewarded for that. He wants to win, just like anybody throughout this field does. There's so many guys that put in work, and Captain is one of those guys. I'm really happy to see him leading up here, and also I did maybe get to pick what paint scheme he ran tonight. So, but in all seriousness, I'm very excited to see him up here. But I tell you what, Abyss, he's still gonna have to work to hold on to this. It's not gonna be easy because we've seen how easy and how much these guys have been passing one another for the lead tonight.
Well, speaking of passing, he has kind of dropped off of late now. He is currently, I believe, in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7th or 8th position, 9th. Okay, I was counting cars. He's in the 8th position now. He's kind of fell back. Oh, he makes a sharp move trying to pass the 1 right there of Turbo. As right now, Stout Whiskey continues to lead as Rye Bread in the 2nd position. But here comes Wirtz trying to peak ball right now. I think Toasted has also found his way back up inside the top 5. He keeps going back and forth like a yo-yo, it seems like, Alex.
Yes, they're going through 1 and 2 right now. I think the 32, unless something happens, I think he's going to be contender. A lot of these guys up here, as you can see, we're kind of either straightening out a little bit, or some of the pack is kind of degrading. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap between the 18 and the 1, almost like separating those 2 packs, but I think they will catch up. That could be huge in this race if it comes down to a small pack, and that's what did in the Xfinity and Truck race. It came down to a small pack of cars and see who in those small pack of cars could win. So my question is, Harvick, what do you do? We've seen people win on the short pit. We've seen people win in the long haul this weekend. What do you think is the strategy to win this race?
Well, and actually, let's get this confirmed first, because I actually forgot to ask about this. But Asylum, how many laps did this stage end up being? Because that's going to be the key. Yes. Here's what I'm going to say. Oh boy. So you look, I'm getting some fuel information. Salms has about 7-8 laps of fuel left on the tank. 31 laps to go. He can get, I would say probably maybe 22, 23 to go. It's going to be a two-stopper from here, unless you can save, which I haven't seen really anybody doing. In order to... Oh, well, this changes things.
Stretch.
Still green, no caution.
Haze, it looks like.
Now it is.
Hades and T-Glass brought out that caution.
Well, we talk about pit strategy, and yet a wrench gets thrown into it. I feel like Larry Mack right now. As soon as you go to me and ask, a caution comes out. I now know the pain that Larry Mack feels or felt earlier this season. But in all seriousness, guys, we probably will end up restarting with, ironically enough, about 28 laps to go, maybe 27. Going to be very similar length now to the first two stages. It's going to be a one-stopper from here. Everybody's going to be on pit road. It's a one-stopper from here, Alex. About the same situation we've had the first two stages. Now these guys just have to race.
Here we go. Green flag back in the air. 27 laps.
I got it
remaining.
right.
It's going to be a one-stopper from here, folks. So be careful, because it's going to go for a ride. 19 gets the lead here off the restart. 8 of Wordburden's going to clear. Here comes the 32 of Stout. He's going to get the runoff too. 8 cars going to go to the inside of the 19. Side by side for the lead. Heading into 3 and 4. 19 is going to try and hold off the 8. 19 clears the 8. But can the 8 get the run? Out of turns 3 and 4. Down the tri-oval they go. The 19 out front as it's single file through the first 6 cars. Abyss.
Yes, indeed. I'm looking through the... I'm sorry, my nose is trying... I'm looking through the middle of the pack, and it's kind of congested right now. I'm seeing a Silence back here. He might not be happy dealing with all of these people, because they're not really working with him. They're kind of working against him. As I move up to the front, looks like the number 1... Looks like it's about a 7 to... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4... Like 6 cars, actually. Sorry. 6-car breakaway, it seems like right now. From 7th place, that is... I'm not sure that... I think that is Asylum's. So Asylum's in the 7th position, trying to regain the track position that he lost during that last green flag run we had. But right now, it still seems like Red is leading at a turn at number 2. What, Kevin?
Indeed, and again, he was my pick to win, but he's definitely having to fight. Somebody else, though, that's shown up later in this thing is the 8 of Wardburton. He's been pretty quiet all night. We saw him leading the inside line probably about halfway through stage 2, kind of fell back again, and he showed up a little bit later, but he's definitely shown up in this stage, and now he is definitely up here in the fighting contention for this one. He slipped back just a little bit from where he was on the restart, but I definitely think he could have a shot at this. So look at Rybrad. Obviously out front leading. He's had a fast car all night. Same thing for Turbo in the 1. You look at Stout Whiskey in the 32, and you look at the 6 of Asylums, who, again, like you said, is trying to kind of rebound a little bit. He has the speed in that car to do that. The one thing I am curious about, and I maybe haven't seen it as much, but some of the guys that were really fast early in this race have kind of evened out with the rest of the field, and I'm wondering, there seems to be a thing in this game where when we start stage 3, the handling of the car, the balance of the car, for whatever reason, seems to change a little bit. Sometimes that benefits guys, sometimes it hurts guys. I'm wondering if anybody has been bitten by that this stage, Alex.
Yes, right now, the 8 of Ward 3 wide for the lead. They make contact. All of the 19's going to have to take the Larson line. 32 of Stouts coming side by side with Toasted. Down the back straightaway they go. They're 100% beating and banging right now. Down through, 24 checking up. 1 and 8 made contact. Abyss, can't you tell they're really racing out there?
Yes, indeed. Right now, coming off of turn number 4, I won't be surprised there's another wreck as I think the 20 just got put into the wall. But here comes Asylums. He loved to see all of that because now he's back inside the top 5 and contention to win this race. But Stout Whiskey continues to pull away as they keep racing. They need to get single file. They need to start pushing each other, or they're going to lose out in the long haul, Kevin.
And I want to talk about Asylums for a second because you look at Asylums, he's kind of been the one guy. He's been so consistent all season in Cup and Xfinity trucks, whatever he's been in. This is the one series though where he still hasn't been able to get that win column checked off, and he's been so close. He's run second a few times. He's run third a few times. He's looked like he was going to win. We thought he was going to. We had Martin. Bleh. We thought he had Martinsville in the bag, and with 10 to go, after almost lapping the entire field, had all the way up to second place lapped, and was literally in the process of lapping second place. Ended up falling to where he had to go down pit road late. I think he still ended up with a top 5 or so. But either way, duh. We talked to him. He was second. But point being, he's been so close so many times. This really does look like tonight, though, one of the best chances he's had. He's had so much speed. He's been right around the top spot all night long. He's recovered now from being back in traffic a little bit. He gets closer to these leaders. The 6 really does look very strong. He's going to have to work for it, but I know he is loving the run he's having. He got through the traffic. He is now back up inside the top 5, like you said, Abyss, and he is working ever closer to getting that first win of the season.
Yes, indeed. But you got to look behind him. I would say almost the master to the teacher. Toasted Gamer Z is kind of the apprentice to Asylum that's now found his way inside the top 3 once again. Toasted said that he's been like a little yo-yo from the back of the field to the front to the back to the front. I don't know what they put inside the Chevy, but it has just been a yo-yo of a day. But hopefully he can find a way to not only get himself, I believe, the first win of the season, but the first win in the Cup Series for this number 24 today, Alex. And a reminder, it's T1 Daytona.
24. Right now, out of this top 5, we've only had one winner in this top 5, and that's the 24 of Toasted. He won the Daytona 500 earlier this year for RHRL. So right now, him being up here is doing so good as he's going to go to the inside of Stout. Side by side for the lead. Is 32 going to get the run? Yes, he will. 6 car also on the high side here. 19 trying to get in line, cannot get there. 24 is going to get back in line though. 24 is going to get a push from the 6. Through 3 and 4. Right now, this 32 is up front and trying to hold off everyone is Harvick. We've ran a couple of laps in this run right now. I think we're probably under 20 to go or so. When do you think is the first pit stop being made?
Well, again, I go back to the pit window. It's about a 15 lap fuel run. You get maybe 14. It's kind of somewhere in the middle there. I would say 15 is pretty safe bet, though. Take that into account. Again, about the same fuel window we ran for the first 2 stages. I would say your pit stops are going to start anywhere from about, I'd say 85 to about 80, 88 to go. So about anywhere from 15 to 13 or 12 laps to go. Anywhere in that area, you're going to see pit road get busy. It's going to really depend, though, and of course, as I say that, I also say with caution, we may end up with a caution because that seems to be the pattern of every time I've been talking about this tonight. But if not, we will see a new factor added into this race, and that's getting on and off pit road. As packed up as these guys are, I'll put it this way, I do not want to be in the first wave coming down pit road. If pit road's busy that first time around, I'm just going to stay out a lap and not get caught up in that or get caught a lap down or something. Obviously, there's a risk to that, or there's also a reward to that, though. If you're on pit road when the caution comes out, then you can stay out, get the track position. But if it's me, I don't want to be in that first wave of cars headed down pit road Abyss.
Yes, indeed, but we gotta remember, just like yesterday, Toasted was very aggressive going into pit road on the last pit stop and cost himself a possible win last night because he kind of sped going into pit road by, I believe, 1 mile per hour. So again, you still have to worry about speeding, because that can take you completely out of even a great finish to that show for your day, as the window is open, if I'm not wrong, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the 32's up front. The 8 car also has now found his way to second place right now. He's moving his way. First car coming down. Hold on, we gotta look at this first car coming down. It's the 00 T-Glass. First one to go down pit road. Is that gonna bring the whole field down? As we got a couple stragglers in the back. It's kind of lost the draft to 88 of Brodozer to 38 of Gavin. We got the 13 as well as Super NASCAR fan. He's also lost the pack as well, as we got some cars signaling. We're going to have some pit stops this time. Oh, can't wait to see who's coming down. Let's see who's going to come down here. Stout the leader. The leader's coming down with 3 other cars. You got the 12 in, the 19 in, the 32 in, and the 20 coming down pit road, Harvick.
Indeed, and I expect all these guys to take 4 tires and fill it up with fuel, obviously. I mean, I don't know exactly how the left sides are wearing. It's not impossible to take 2, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. Sometimes it can throw the balance of your car off. And with the way this place is, you want all the speed in that car you can get. You want all the grip, because at this point in the race, you're trying to put every bit of gas you can into that car, as far as you don't want to be losing traction, losing grip in the middle of the corners, trying to race 2, 3, 4 wide around this place late in the going.
Ooh,
You want to be able to have something you can handle with. Oh boy!
I think Toasted missed the entry to pit road.
Oh, Toasted Asylum spun on pit road.
Toasted missed the entry to pit road. That is
to be huge. Wow. That might change some things. Toasted has to go another lap around. Toasted has to go another lap around. That's not going to help him. He is slow, and I think he may be out of gas. Here, Abyss.
It sounds like, by the way, guys, Asylum's, want to give an update on this. Asylum's gets hit from behind. That's what causes him to go around. We don't have this officially confirmed. I didn't see it happen. Obviously, we know Toasted missed the pit entry. It would make sense, considering they were trying to go down at the same time. Oh, so the one car of Turbo ends up getting into the back of Asylum's, not Toasted. So, Toasted, if you rewatch this, sorry. Toasted, I think, probably saw that and maybe missed the entry because of it. Don't know. But really chaotic pit road entry there, and that's what I talk about. The green flag pit stops, they really shake things up, Abyss.
Yes, Toasted is literally out of fuel, as the 17 just got spun into turn 3. That's bit skydiver. I'm not really sure what's going on now. I think everyone's gone crazy mode. I'm not sure who the leader is, but it looks like I think everything's kind of settled out. I believe, if I'm not wrong, it would be Stout Whiskey, which should be shown as the leader, if I'm not wrong.
Indeed, and that's what I would talk about as well. That's what I talked about as well, guys. And obviously, I thought the wave of cars was going to come down earlier. It didn't, but you see what happens. That's why I said I would not want to be coming down with a wave of cars. I would kind of, yeah, the draft's helpful, but at this place, as packed up as everybody is and as hard and as aggressive as you are getting into the pits here, I kind of would rather be around maybe a smaller group where I have a little bit more control over what happens to me. And you see what happens when you get stuck in a larger pack, guys. Braking and letting off and shifting, those types of things at different points, and that causes issues. Alex?
Yes, right now 32, 19, they're by themselves, just those two, and then you got a pack of 3. That's the 1, the 12, and the 8, and then right behind that pack, it's a couple of single cars with the 18, the 53, the 6, the 2. So right now, the battle for the win is between the 32 and the 19. Unless they start battling, this could be a 5-car battle for the win here, Abyss.
Abyss?
Oh, sorry. Yes. I thought we were just kind of spacing out there. Yes, indeed. But again, Asylum's in the pretty much, I'd say, in the biggest. I would say he's really mad right now, knowing he could have probably the one to beat Stout Whiskey right now, as Toasted is still at a field trying to get a pit road. And you see him, that's the car on the apron, just completely out of fuel. But right now the question is, who can stop the 32? Because I don't think the 19 can actually do it by himself. He's gonna need another car to help him get around him. But right now, I think the hand is all in Stout Whiskey's basket, Kevin.
Indeed. Now, I would do say, too, tough break for the 24 of Toasted. Somebody, like you said earlier, I mean, and it's pretty accurate, he'd kind of been a yo-yo all day, which actually probably fits his personality really well. Very jumpy, very happy kid. But had a lot of speed tonight, was up in contention for this win, definitely a top 5 car, and obviously you see missed a pit entry, probably doing part of the accident that happened headed into pit road. Tried to miss that, didn't want to get involved. Maybe just missed an overshot it, but either way, tough break now. He's going to end this race multiple laps down, and that's a huge gut punch for him. Somebody who looks like he could definitely get out of here with a top 5 pretty well. Not going to end up with a result he deserves, but you look up to this lead. This lead battle. I don't think this is over yet. I think Rye Bread, we've seen him be really fast all night long. I think if he can get things going just right, he might have a shot at the 32. And also, if this other pack of cars can get to these guys, like you said, Abyss, this could be a really big battle for the win, and it would really shake up things as well. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we're looking at that pack. When I looked at the pack, it was only 3 cars. Now it's 5 cars. The 18 of Sideways and the 53 of Mr. Slide Job. He's gotten to the pack as well. So there's 5 cars that could work in tandem here to catch the front 2. Now I don't know how many to go it is. We're gonna wait for an update at the line. But right now it looks like the 19 and the 32 might be working together here, and then they'll battle.
5 laps to go.
This is interesting. This gets more interesting. 5 laps to get to Stout Whiskey. This is going to be interesting. They must be pushing harder than they've pushed all race long. The question is, can Word pull them enough? Can he get there? As for some reason, they're in the okay. Never mind. My game almost glitched. That they were in the high line there for me. I got confused. But as right now, they're gaining some pretty good time on them, coming into 4 to go. All Stout Whiskey has to do is lead 4 more laps to get the win, but this group of cars behind them are currently battling / pushing, so it's gonna be interesting. The gap's about, like, I would say maybe a second and a 1 second, maybe a second or 2 seconds, or a second and a half maybe, as we go down the backstretch. Just kind of wondering what's gonna happen right now. Rybread's kind of in this position where he knows he doesn't have the power to pass him on the outside or the inside line. So the question is he going to move him in any way, or is he going to stay in the second spot or wait for them to get there as we hit 3 to go? Kevin, what is your prediction?
I think mine would have to be, see how this thing's packed up right now. Unless he can get a little bit more draft help from behind, a little bit more of a push, I'd say this is probably going to end the way it looks right now. It might close a little bit, but they've pretty much calmed down, settled out. Unless we end up with a caution or something, that's probably how this is going to end up.
Well, here we go. Circling 3 and 4, coming to 2 to go. It's been a great race. Stout Whiskey won stage number 2. 19 of Rye Bread won stage 1. You got your stage 1 and 2 winners battling for the win. Lap car in front, 2 to go. Horatio's going to get out of the way. Good move there by Horatio. Smart move right there. 19. I don't know. He's going to have to make a move on the final lap. It might be the smarter thing to do. Down the back straight away they go. Through 3 and 4 here. We're coming to the white flag. Who's going to win the race? 19, like I said, stage 1 winner. Stage 2 winner, Stout Whiskey. They're both up front. Through the tri-oval. White flag as Rye Bread looks to the outside. Side by side, down through the tri-oval and 1. Stout runs a little bit of higher line. Gets to the bottom though. Rybread on the outside, trying to hold him off. Down the
Rybread's
back
gonna be
straightaway
there.
they go. Rye might have it if he gets a run. Down the back straightaway. Car slow on the apron, doesn't matter. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Who's gonna get it? Rybread, Stout. Stout's finished second multiple times. Stout's gonna make contact. Stout, Whiskey is gonna win in Auto Club.
Wow.
I thought Rye had it for a minute there. I thought he had it for a minute there. I'm not gonna lie, people. I thought Rye was gonna seal it for a minute.
Well, and I tell you what probably helped Stout there was Stout was smart. He realized that the 19, he was on the outside. He could get on his quarter panel and side draft. He was going to be able to do that. And to top that off, he also would have had the momentum coming through the corner, which at the end of the day at Auto Club, momentum is a pretty meaningful thing at this racetrack. So you break that all down, and you end up with a pretty good chance. What Stout did going into the corner was, I don't know if y'all noticed it, he ran a little bit higher, kind of pushed the 19 up a little bit to kind of counter the side draft that he was going to try to do on the 32. And I think, especially to the little bit of contact that was made coming off of 4, I think that is ultimately what won Stout this race. But definitely, those two guys, very well deserving. Either one of those guys could have been the winners, as well as a few others. But great race overall, and great finish. We'll wait to get our top 3.
As we will get our top 3 in here.
We've got
We're
third.
going to get our top 3 in here to get their interview. What a race. What an absolute finish there at the end. Stout Whiskey, of course, stage 2 winner. Finished second multiple times in his 3 starts. And now 4th start finally gets it. They usually say 3rd time's a charm. I guess the 4th time's the charm, too. So we're going to get your top 3 in here. I'm going to send an invite to Stout.
I'll get red.
There's Stout, and then Word. That was a great finish here tonight by all drivers. Good racing all around. We only had a couple incidents, but that is okay to have a couple of incidents in this race. As we're waiting for Word.
I'll get Tim.
Tim. We're waiting for Tim. I sent an invite to Tim.
By the way, too, shout out to the 8. He was kind of quiet, like I said, all day, and ends up coming home with a very quiet but good 3rd place. So.
Yeah, so good 3rd place for Word. No, that was a good run for him. He's already won a couple of races this season, and keeping it strong. As what a good race from him. As there he is, 3rd place runner, Word Burton.
Oh.
Okay.
All right then.
While we wait, let's go over the race real quick so we don't have to after post-race interviews.
Didn't stuff just leave?
Harvick and Abyss. What was your thoughts on the race?
I mean, overall, you look at Friday's race again. I missed yesterday. Heard it was a good race. Started off a little bit incidental. Had quite a few incidents. It cleaned up towards after stage 1 though. The guys got it under control, and after that we saw an amazing race. 2, 3 wide up front, all the way back through the field. We even saw 4 wide a couple of times, and I think I even saw one attempt at 5 wide, but I think we ended up getting a caution out of it. So all throughout this race, these guys put on a show. This is why it's one of my favorite tracks in this game, and really one of my favorite tracks in general. It's so wide. You have so many options. The drivers can use it. It's a little bit different than Michigan. You can't really use every lane at Michigan in this game the way it works, but you can use it at Auto Club. And there's a little bit of tire wear involved. Again, not as much as I would like it to be, and I think it should be. But hey, you know what? It still puts on a great race, and we saw one. And ultimately, obviously, it's unfortunate that some of our contenders got taken out by incidents later in stage 3 and our green flag pit stops. But that played into it as well. We saw the pit stops do what they tend to do, and that is shake things up. Maybe not in the way that we would have expected, but that happens. And that's just part of racing. It's unfortunate, but we ended up getting a great finish between the 32 and the 19, and all in all, it was an amazing race. And it's also amazing too because this is gonna be a bad plug. That's fair warning, but also Circle B Diecast as well makes this all amazing. To want to thank those guys and want to say, as I usually do, go check them out, go support them. Go get, if you're a diecast collector or even you're just looking for merchandise, because they have some other things too. Go check out Circle B Diecast, CircleBDiecast.com. They have so much stuff. They have 2021 stuff coming in all the time. They have new pre-orders coming out all the time for NASCAR. They have some IndyCar stuff. They have some NHRA drag cars. They have some driver memorabilia as well and some other cool things. I saw Hendrick where they broke the win record when Chase won, or not when Chase, when Kyle Larson won the 600 last week. They had a metal sign and I think a hat or something that they came out with. So they have, that you can get. So they have some cool stuff on there. Go check them out. And when you do, if you make a purchase that's $20 or more in the U.S., use code RHRL at checkout to get free shipping. And I promise you, that is very helpful because when you start to buy multiple things, that shipping cost adds up. So go do that. Make yourself a diecast collector if you're not already one. I have a ton. The amount of diecasts I have is ridiculous. I continue to add to that. So if you're like me and you like buying diecasts or you just like supporting your favorite drivers, go check them out and use code RHRL at checkout. But now that I'm done with my random plug, Abyss, what did you think?
I thought it was a pretty good day. Some tragic happened towards the end there with Toasted and a Silence, but hopefully they can rebound next week and we can see some great action from them. I'm going to get to it here, and I'm going to get to Rybread. Mr. Rybread, do you have a copy, my good friend?
Oh, wait, words back.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, oh. Never mind, word, you get a copy, my good friend.
Yes, sir, I do apologize for that.
You're fine, Word. Man, you had a great car. I believe you started up front. Tell us how your race went from that, from start to finish.
It was an up and down day, and when we looked at the race at least coming into today, obviously a couple of us got a little bit more experience racing SXRL Pro about an hour and a half before, so we were able to make a couple of changes to prepare for tonight. But it kind of, obviously, Biss, you'll know about what I'm talking about yesterday, and Alex from racing on the race yesterday, the kind of feel the race had with a bunch of cautions early and just trying to get your car kind of set up to feel a little bit comfortable for that long run. And, I didn't really know how to expect going from, 11 cars to 20 cars, into a race and how it was going to feel. But it was real good. I felt like we had a little bit of fun trying to make up ground, especially at stage 1, but we got lagged right there to end the stage, and we had to race all the way from near to dead last and work our way up. The car was real fast. I don't know what I have to do here. If I'm being honest, at least in Auto Club, I just can't get the pit strategy right, and it's real tough because I was stuck between the decision of do I pit with Stout, do I pit with Rye, or do I go another lap and try to catch him? And once they gapped and once they say bumper to bumper, you just couldn't catch, and that's the toughest decision. I know Kevin a few moments ago alluded to tire wear, but it's so tough to make that right decision in the moment because you feel like, hey, if I stay out, better tires, I may be able to catch quicker. But then if you don't have that help, you're not going to be able to. So it was a cat and mouse game all day long. But we came out on the short edge of the least of a win. But hey, we got to lose sometimes, So, 3 wins to this point in the season is great. Definitely learned a lot, and, there towards the end for Stout and as well as Rybread, that's a massive finish. And I think for Stout, a must-win, especially after the tie he had to deal with at Chicagoland. So this is definitely one he deserved.
Well, again, congratulations. Did you in that like a of any way chance of catching the 2 and the 19 at all?
I apologize. Again, I heard you lagging a little bit.
Sorry. Did you, and we were in that 5-car pack, did you see any opportunity for you to catch the 2-car pack of the 19 and 32?
Yeah, I thought for about 4 or 5 laps we were gaining. We were about 2/10 a lap, but then once the tires evened out, they really pulled. And they also got a little bit of a pull from lap car there late in about the final 4 laps or so that kind of really sealed the deal. And then unfortunately, my lack of talent bounced off the wall, and then also caused us to lose a couple more tenths there to back there for race for third. But it's really tough because you have to make that decision in an instant. Do I want to pit now and hope that I can keep up, or do I want to pit later and know that at least I'll be faster, but give yourself the better tire opportunity, especially working with the middle and the outside. So I mean, at the end there, once we were separated a bit, we didn't have a chance. It's a tough thing. While this is super speedway racing, we're all pushing as hard as we can, and you think groups, tire wear to an extent, and your impact of pitting and so on. This is the only track I know where you could short pit, not lose positions drastically. So it's definitely a strategical track to say the least.
Oh, gotcha. And I'm gonna steal one from Harvick here. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for your top 3 finish tonight?
Yeah, I do want to thank you guys, for the broadcast and so on. Alex has been spot on every week, as well as you, Bis, since coming back, and Kevin. And by the way, Kevin, glad to have you give you your rocks back in your suit and tie after last night. So, I kind of stole those away. But, I want to thank you guys, and I do want to thank again the entire admin crew. Tonight was not an easy one by any means, and I'm sure the other 2 drivers can tell you that. It started off really, really rough, and the fact that we were able to finish strong, I'm real proud of. But the admin crew did everything they could. Gavin, especially, stepping up there and trying to hold drivers accountable to an extent. Same thing with Casey. Again, without those guys, and not saying again, T-Glass had to go through his troubles, toasted. Got to give Captain a lot of credit today. I know he's not an admin, but got to give him a lot of credit. There was times today where he lagged and he dropped off the pack, and he didn't have to do that, So that shows a lot about his character. But, the entire rest of the admin crew, Drew, Mark, and everyone else, Kevin, you included. So, this weekend was, again, another success. I think we locked ourselves in to the playoffs as well. I think we're going to be 120 above going into the, at least going into the next race. So I think we're clinched. I don't want to jump into the math, but, again, I want to thank you guys for everything.
Well, again, thank you Tim for getting into this time, and hopefully we get to see you in the championship circle at the end of the season.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, sir. Oh, there we go. Yes, sir. Thank you, Tim. And I'm going to pick up our second place finisher, Mr. Rybread, who again comes up with a really, really solid performance. That's 3 back-to-back. Rye, got a copy?
Yeah.
Man, we talked to you at Martinsville, and obviously we didn't get to talk to you at Atlanta, but you ended up with a top 5 there. The season didn't exactly maybe start off the way you would have liked, not in a bad way, but you weren't putting together the runs that you have been lately, and now things are starting to kind of fall your way, starting to get your footing, if you will. Obviously, 3 back-to-back top 5s now. I mean, when you look at that, and I guess before we get to the race itself, 3 top 5s back-to-back, and headed into, we're getting really close to these playoffs. Only 3 races remain in the regular season after this, and one of them being Talladega, which is its own animal. I mean, how do you take that from a driver standpoint and help get that to help you moving forward into these final 3 weeks?
Yeah, at the start of the season, I really struggled with speed. Like, I had a hard time. I've always had a hard time with Heat 5 and Heat 4 with the setups, and I've finally figured something out and hit a stride here and been able to actually have some consistency throughout the race and get stage points and be able to stay near the front or at the front and just learning the game and the setups. I know it's been out for over a year now, but I mean, I've struggled this whole entire last 2 years with these last 2 games, but something's finally clicking and I'm able to run with the fast guys up front and be able to have fun in these races and not run 8th or 9th or mid-pack. I was getting tired of that. And the last 2 or 3 races, like you said, I've been able to jump up in the points, and I'm in the top 5 in points now. I'm looking forward to trying to make the playoffs. I was really close. I was really hoping I could pull off that win tonight against Stout, but that was some good hard racing there, and got my first stage win of the night, or stage win of the season, which I was pretty pumped about. So, but yeah, like you said, I struggled quite a bit at the start of the season. It's just these last few races, I've put a little bit more time into the games and been able to work on the setup. So I think that extra time's starting to pay off a little bit.
Indeed, man, and I gotta ask as well. You know, obviously, looking now more into the race in itself, you obviously come in here and we thought you had a really good shot at Martinsville, but dude, you led a ton of laps tonight. You were up inside the top 3 the entire race for the most part. I think there was one point where you slipped a little bit outside the top 5. And you ended up getting your way back up there very quickly. You were battling Stout, you were battling Asylums, battling Tim, Toasted, Turbo, all those guys all night long. What did you feel like you needed out of that car, though? Obviously, even on the last lap, Abyss actually thought, and myself too, thought you were going to be able to get a run off of 4, and at the very least be able to be, dead even with Stout coming to the line. What did you feel like you needed there to get the win away from Stout, whether it be strategy-wise or even just a move on the last or late in that run that you could have done differently?
Well, we started off the race. I was really loose to start the race. I had my car set up way too loose, and I just was lucky enough to have enough speed to get through the first stage and a lot of cautions that helped. So once that second stage started, I had tightened it up quite a bit and was able to, hold my own and not get loose off of 2 and 4 and kill people. There was one time I did get caught in the middle and got a little bit loose and hit Word, but they was wrecking behind us, so it didn't affect anything. Yeah, that whole last run, I tightened my car up just a little bit more in the middle of that third stage, and because I thought we were going to stay in a big pack the whole time. Well, turned out it was just me and Stout at the end, and I was just a little too tight there on the outside. I had to lift a little bit more getting into 3. And I tried backing the corner up, but I backed it up too much, and then there was a little bit of contact off of 4 that kind of slowed my car down, but it's all good. That's part of racing. It was a great finish. I was still excited about a second place, even though it was that close to the win. But yeah, I was just a little too snug there at the end to be able to do anything with Stout. The draft really helped me a lot to stay with him. I think he would have been able to pull away from me if I wouldn't have got that snip of the draft there after the pit stops.
Indeed, man. Well, with that being said, one more question for you, my usual one. Any thank yous or shout outs you'd like to give to anybody tonight for a second place finish?
I want to thank Word and everybody for putting this on. It's like I said, I look forward to it every weekend. It's awesome to be able to come out and race with some good friends and have some good races and be able to be competitive now and run up front. I want to thank my girlfriend for watching the baby and helping with the dog while I was racing. She's a trooper. You're good. And I want to thank you all for putting these streams on. We love to grow this community, and I think you all are doing a fantastic job of it and trying to get more, more viewers to the NASCAR community on the esports side. So I think it's awesome. And I want to thank Circle B for coming on as a sponsor. I know that's been a couple weeks ago, but it's still really cool to have a big name company sponsor an esport league. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more. And again, too, and you notoriously in the chat, we won't go into too much detail. I think we talked about it in Martinsville. Notoriously have that huge order of diecast ready to go. So hopefully you can get that sorted out.
Whenever the bank gets caught up, we'll hit the order button on those. About $1,300 worth.
Oh, it went up. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, it's like 12. It's like 12.19, I think, is what it is.
Well, I can't wait to see the photos of all those when they come in. But Right, Brad. Congratulations on the P2, and good luck at the old Monster Mile next weekend. That's going to be fun. And by the way, just a little information for you. I've seen this happen one other time, but you seem to be trending in the right direction because you got third last week. You finished second this week. So if you keep going in the right direction, you just might end up in victory lane next weekend. So good luck, and again, congratulations.
Thank you. I look forward to going to Dover. That's one of my better tracks. Me and Words had a good battle there before in RSR, and hopefully I can get my car dialed in and stay up front there next week.
Indeed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Alex, you have first time RHRL Cup Series race winner, Stout Whiskey.
Yo, Stout, you got copy?
Hey, what's up, dog?
What up, man? You finished second place 3 times. Technically 2 times. You finished third at Daytona, but you were second on the last lap, and finally you get the win. Tell us, how does it feel?
I mean, it always feels good to, win races. Yeah, especially coming here. It's basically a super speedway. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. So, just tried to work my way up through the field there. Work with different people. I tried to work with Rob Red, the whole race because I feel like he tried to work with me and Turbo as well in the one car. And then, I tried working with Ward there on the bottom when he had the lead or was in second place. So, to be able to race against these group of guys who put on a good show and to be a part of this is pretty special to win the race.
Yeah, good win. First time, another first time winner this season. You don't really run much, but you do get your first win here at Auto Club. You also got a stage win, which is pretty good. Tell me, how did you manage to pace yourself through the race here tonight?
Well, I mean, where I haven't raced in, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I, started in the back, just try to work my way up, through the field, just staying on the bottom, just letting guys wash up. And, I got up to 8th and 9th a couple times, and then someone would wreck and I'd get damage, 8 or 9 seconds of damage, and I go back to 18th or 19th again. And then, kind of once everybody tightened their cars up, it was fine, was able just to work up there. And, I just, personally, I felt like I could run the bottom, I could run the top. It didn't really matter. I got a pretty good car here. I think I finished fourth or fifth in stage 1. I was able to win stage 2, and then Rob Red was talking about the draft. I actually slowed down so he could, and I know he was digging just that way we could get hooked up because I knew if both of us was on our own island, then third, fourth, fifth, and sixth they were going to run us down and leave us sitting. So kind of try to back it up to him, and Rob Red's an excellent racer. I don't race with him a lot, but I know, I follow RSR. I know he wins a lot over there. He's an excellent racer. He's been really good on console for several years. And, we weren't in the party, but we knew we had to just stay together and duke it out at the end. And, we raced really, really clean there the whole time. I actually did touch him just a tad off of 4. That was not my intentions. I don't like to touch other people's cars because I don't like people to touch my cars. So, I apologize to Rob Red for that. And, was able to seal the deal and win the race.
Anybody you want to shout out here?
Yeah, I mean, I got to thank Ward Burton and, Silems, everybody that, created Red Hot Racing League and puts on a good show. I got to thank you guys. Every time I've been in the booth, I've been lucky enough to be in the booth every race I've raced. Always thank you guys for sacrificing your time, to do this. You could be, doing something else, but you guys call our races. So I'm definitely appreciative to you, Just Calls, and Abyss. Glad he's back, and Harvick fan. And, I just got to thank, whoever's out there that's watching. And, I hope, as always, that Stout Whiskey has fans. I try to, I race with anybody. There's only, I don't know, about 2 or 3 guys on this game that I don't mind hitting because they hit me a lot of times, but none of them is in this league. So it's feels special. I've actually been on a tear the last couple of weeks. I've won 4 races in different divisions, or excuse me, different leagues. So to come over here and get my first win it's really cool.
Well, that's good. Stout Whiskey, your winner here tonight at Auto Club. And that's basically going to wrap it up. We went through, before we interviewed, we went through our thoughts on the race. But I think that's going to wrap it. Thank you to everybody that had tuned in. We'll see you guys Sunday for Cup at
Dover.
Dover.
The
So we'll
old
see you
Monster
guys
Mile.
Cup at Dover. But tune in to
Monster
Gavin
time.
Hudspeth's Twitch on Friday and Saturday for the truck race at Eldora and the Xfinity race at Dover. Thank you everybody who's watching. We'll see you in the next one.